Hello guys, how you doing? AQEEL ash-shakoor here. Hey, and we're back for the boom 4th episode. Today's episode is going to be directed at how do I get better roles? Because I'm asked that question all the time. I'm asked, how are you just getting these high profile roles? I was actually asked that about 2 days ago, but I've been asked this so many times, so I said, hey, why not? That'll be the 4th episode. How do you get better roles? And as we always do, there's a lot of things that goes into getting better roles, but today I want to narrow it down to 3 points on how to get better roles. Does this mean that you're going to be making $1 million on the next better role? Does it mean that you're going to be getting a check of maybe 6 figures on the next biggest role? I don't know, but what do you consider the next biggest role? Because your next biggest role may not be the same as my next biggest role. So today what we're going to do is just simply give you 3 things on how to land better roles. All right? You know what we do? Let's just get right into it. 3 points on how to land better roles. And we're here. That's right. Point 1, how to get better roles. Well, it's just simple. Point 1 is simply this. Do better research. Many of us, we tend to think that the jobs are just going to pour in. I'm just going to be seen, or somebody's just going to know me and I'm just going to get better roles. Or maybe you even think that you're going to start acting today and you're just going to walk into a lead role. Nobody can actually think that, right? You'd be surprised. I've seen that, and I've had people inbox me, DM, or whatever you want to say, and they said, hey, I want better roles. And so my questions are the generic questions all the time. Are you an actor? How long have you been acting? Where are you? What agency are you with? And then I found out in some calls, none. The answer is no to any of them. They don't have an agent. They haven't researched jobs. They've never acted before, and they're looking to walk in and be a lead actor. Now, does that happen? I'm sure there has been somewhere in the world where that has happened, okay? But I want to tell you, don't go into looking for that. So first thing, do better research. Where's the market that you're searching? Where are you looking for jobs? Are you looking in such places as you just saw somebody else in a film, so you do like most people do, the project is already out and you say, hey, I want to get into that film? That means that you're not doing the proper research. Now, the first thing you can do, and I always tell people, there's nothing like word of mouth. Being a business owner myself, the best thing you can do is have word of mouth. Get out and talk to actors. I just don't understand why we don't use the resources of talking to actors. Whether you're a new actor or an old actor, if you're looking for better jobs, hey, just simply go up to an actor and say, hey, where are you finding the jobs that you're getting? Okay, and then there are actors markets, websites. You can just Google these things, and this is what I love about this day and age as well. So social media is not bad. Social media is one of the greatest resources ever, but we don't use it. We use it for everything else. So do your research. And another thing, guys, it's like, have you thought about when you're watching a movie? See, like, I know, like me personally, what I do is I generally watch all the credits. I want to know who did the score. I want to know who did the color grade. I want to know who did the casting. I want to know who was holding the grip, who was doing the sound. This is what you call research. Why? Because these are the people that are generally on bigger films and that have bigger roles. So guess what? Maybe if you're watching The Godfather, if you're thinking about going back to The Godfather, or maybe going to any other big film that you can think about, and then you can see who's actually working on the set and you can reach out to them. So research is something that we cannot get by with. We must do proper research. Now, for those actors that get on with an agent, and the agent also gives you maybe a few websites that you must, did you hear what I said? That you must, let me say that again, that you must be logged into. You must create a profile. You must have your picture. You must build your resume. You must add a media clip or a demo reel. And so therefore, more agents or casting directors are looking for talent that fit your bill. Now, in order to do the research, that means that you have to do some work. So simply getting out, reaching out in any format. In any format. It's not that hard, guys, but you gotta do your research, okay? And you can't be a lazy researcher. All right? And we're just gonna leave it at that. Something so simple, but it'll help you land better jobs. Rounding second base is point 2. We must do better work. Guys, I can't stress this more than enough times that we must do better work. Your better work is not copying an actor that's already here. That's not your better work. Your better work and doing better work, it's all about what you do. Now, don't be fooled. I want to tell you that even your worst project, and there are many of us that have what we call our worst project, because some of our worst projects were probably our first projects. And then again, there are some projects that are right in the middle of where we are now versus our first projects. But somewhere along the line, all actors have a bad project. Okay? And so what I say is do better work. Now, do not be fooled to think that other actors, casting directors, assistant directors, you name it, they see your work. They see your good work and they see your bad work, okay? So you always want to put out good work, all right? And I go the extra length and I say you always want to put out immaculate work. I listen, you want to land better roles. This is another one of my pet peeves that I'm going to throw this in as a bonus. Only accept the roles that you know that you're going to really dive in and give it your all. You're not just going to walk on anyone's set and you're just not going to just try to perform the job. You're not just going to go in and like, oh yeah, I could play that. I could play a doctor. I could play a lawyer. I could play the hood guy. I could play the glamour girl. Don't do that, please. Don't do it to the team of people that have come together as cast, crew, everybody that has come together to make an immaculate film. Because we all start out, or we should start out, and everybody believes that this film is going to be the one. So don't come there. Don't accept the role if you're not willing to give the all. Okay? Find out what that character is going to be doing, what it will have to evolve into, what it will dissolve into, and know that you can really take it there. Now, I'm not saying just turn it down, but I'm saying, but if you know in your heart that you're really not built for the role, then it would be better to not take that role. One thing I would say in doing better work is that every role is not for us. Every role is not for us. I can't tell you the number of times that we put down on our resumes. We put it on the research sites, or we put it on the media sites that where we have our resumes and special skills. And you know what? A lot of times they're picking other people besides us. Now, I have a small theory about that, and it showed, because this is what happens. A lot of times when you get people that have been branded or their career has been as such, then they get sort of hard to work with on set. And so this is why you must do better work. You must be able to be molded. You must be able to be directed. You must be able to take constructive criticism. And if you're going to be in this acting business, you better be ready to take some harsh criticism. That's not going to come in the form of constructive criticism. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's one of the most grateful tools. But you got to learn to also do better work in working under pressure. I'm not telling you to be mistreated or disrespected, but I'm just telling you that tempers fly. People, there are budgets and time frames that people are all working in, and you have to remain in character. Yes, while everything is going on outside of that filming, you have to be focused. That's doing better work. And believe it or not, that counts as your professionalism, because people are going to be watching you and to see how you perform under pressure. Or just maybe when you walk into that audition room and doing your better work. Here's another hint. If you didn't catch it, keep your hands out of your face. That's not doing better work. When you're waving your hands like this, that's all. You know how much cutting we gotta cut around you, and we can't match up dialogue when your hand is covered unless it specifically calls for, maybe you're on the field and you're calling plays and you're going hit the 2 gap, hit the 3 gap. It's very important. But we gotta just simply do better work. Put in the research to do the better work and actually do that. And the third point coming up, I'm going to show you something else that goes right along with the research and the doing the better work. So your better work is giving it your all, living in the moment, and that is how we'll round off second base. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed point 1 and point 2. And now, before we run home, we're going to end with point 3. And point 3 is simple, simple, simple. We hear it so many times when we're in there. Even when we get the auditions and the self-tape, they tell us to do 1 and 2 and 3 takes. And they say, don't make them the same. Now, here's the thing. You don't actually, when they ask for 1 or 2 takes, sometimes you just don't have to do it. Sometimes maybe you strongly believe in your 1 take. However, I would say if they're asking for 1 or 2 takes, then be diligent enough to do 1 or 2 takes. Maybe if they say 2 to 3, then you can maybe send in 2, but you don't always have to send in 3. You definitely don't want to send in 1. Why? It all brings about point 3. Make better choices. Now, the first time when you read, you might want to read, and you want to read in the tone, and after breaking down the scene, you want to read in a tone, and you want to have some inflections, some reflections, or just be silent to things that are said. How are you responding? So it's a choice. Now, there could be lines on the paper. Now, I remember watching American Gangster, and I seen a clip. They were showing I think it was Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe. And then they were showing the actual dialogue under their clip with both actors, right? And you would be surprised that they weren't reading word for word. Actually, sometimes they had even added things. So those actors had surveyed the entire script. They had broken down the scene, and they made the choices that were apparent at the time. They made those choices that were pertinent to what was given. Now, I want to tell you this, because when actors are committing their dialogue to living, then you're going to see something totally different. I don't mean away from the script, but right on point, but you're going to see something totally different from that. You say 1, I say 2, you say 3, I say 4. You're going to get some spillage, you're going to get some actions, you're going to get some reaction, because there's a feel that comes on when people are living in the moment. When you're living in the moment, it's much different from being in a scene where another actor is just basically just saying their dialogue. Again, the dog went to the store and got a bone. He came home and he buried it in the backyard. Versus the dog really went to the store and he got a bone. The bone was his favorite bone. Man, that dog really ate that bone. And he found himself home, burying that bone, because that bone was so precious to him. So precious. Now, all of that's not going to be in the script, but depending on the feel of it, that's what's going to be happening. You may even get a bark in between there, but the person has examined it, and the feel and the spirit that is in it, that's what he's given. So make better choices. Maybe you have a moderate tone, maybe you have a broken tone, and maybe you have one where you're a little more silent than the other tones. Maybe you are not just looking dead on. And your better choices are, they're what we call the fourth wall, when you're giving your dialogue and looking dead into the camera. And then, like most auditions, they tell you to look at least about 6 inches off to the left or to the right of the lens. And then just maybe that when you're giving your dialogue, you make the choice. Because some of us, we stay with the same person, but if you sort of give a look off, it sort of shows that you're accessing. So these are just all some choices that you can make. Don't want to get too in depth to it, but just three simple things. And so make better choices, okay? Sometimes you can make the choice to come in character. I don't mean that you put on flippers. And Taraji P. Henson gave a beautiful one. She said it was probably one of her worst auditions, but she got some great feedback. She came in wearing flippers, and I'm gonna leave that to your imagination. But it was such a beautiful story. But so be careful. Make the choice to know. Make your choices based off of what you've given. Now, a lot of auditions give you directly what they want, so don't do more than what they ask in the sense of bringing a lot of props, because making the choice to use props can be good and it can also hurt you, because if you're using too many props, then the props take away from your performance. All right, it's nothing. It's like somebody smoking a cigarette and you just get hung up on a cigarette. It's like watching my old uncle is sitting and flicking. He said, "Boy, yeah, bring me that there. Boy, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that." And you concentrate on it, and then you realize after watching that scene with Uncle, poor Uncle, this wasn't a comedy, Uncle. This was a drama, and you just turned it into a comedy, and you're not the comic relief in the film. So we have to make better choices. Know whether or not to wear glasses. Some of us may wear prescription glasses. Some of us may not wear prescription glasses. And so you have to make a choice. Are you going to be in without it? Or are you going to be in with glasses? It's a choice. We have to make a choice. Because some characters, the glasses take away. And some of it, sometimes, depending on what role you're playing, glasses add to the intellectual degree of the person that is speaking. Or maybe you have the judge on your bench. Bailiff, he'll be in your custody. All right? Or maybe you have that school teacher that's standing at the chalkboard that has on the glasses, that gives about all intellect. So you have to make the choices. Make the choices on what to do. So, guys, that has been my 3 points, and I'm going to take it back home, and we're going to end with this. And there we have it. Hey, 3 points on how to land better jobs. 1, do better research. 2, do better work. And 3, make better choices. I hope that this has been very simple. I've tried to simplify it because you can't believe how many times we overlook the simple things that are right in front of us. We're told a million times, and yet we still don't do it. So 3 points on how to land better jobs. Now, go and clean up your act, and I'll see you back for the 5th episode. This has been AQEEL ash-shakoor. 3 points on how to learn. Did I say that right? I didn't get my dialogue right. I don't think so. Let's try that again. So, clean up your act, and we'll see you back on the 5th episode. To wipe me down? Yeah. All right, guys. All jokes aside, we'll see you again on the 5th episode. This has been AQEEL ash-shakoor on the 4th episode of 3 things on how to land better jobs. Okay? All right. We'll see you. Doo-doo-doo.